The memorandum to me is an absolute nothing burger. Absolute nothing burger. They both lost. Carney lost bigger than Smith, right? So Carney, immediately in the aftermath of that, Carney lost Stephen Guilbeault. And I think Carney will lose a few more MPs between now and Christmas. And when Parliament resumes in the new year, he'll have lost 3 or 4 MPs. He's lost Guilbeault. He's going to lose Bill Blair, who's going to go become the High Commissioner to England. Melanie Joly is going to become the ambassador to France, I think. There's a few ambassadorships that have to be filled. And then the Liberals in Ontario are having their own leadership race. So people like Karina Gould and Nathan Esquire and some of the other ones have already said that they intend on running in the leadership race of the Liberals. So I think Carney lost big with his MOU. Yves Blanchette has been absolutely slamming this. Eby is no fan of the MOU. Like, nobody's in favor of it. And I go on French Twitter, and the Quebecers are absolutely angry about this. They feel betrayed.
Maybe that's even that paints a case for like why Alberta negotiating with Ottawa is going to ultimately fail if every little win or common ground, if it feels like a loss to anybody in the East, then what are we doing trying to make all these little wins if it's not even politically
excellent point.
It's not politically viable. Yeah.
Nobody cheers any wins for Alberta. Ever. Exactly. I mean, if Alberta wants a separate pension plan, that's bad. Quebec wants a separate pension plan, good for you. Alberta wants to separate, you guys are evil. Quebec wants to separate, you're absolutely right. Like, we cannot have any nice things in Alberta, which is why at one point I wondered if Danielle wasn't playing Carney, right? Because he looked so bad. But then I had to look at her and go, no, she took it on the chin too, right? We'll get into details. It came out at the AGM. I mean, she was basically booed for the MOU. I don't know if she's convinced that it's good. The way she spoke about it, she seemed to be in favor of it. She gave up something. I mean, she gave up on well, she didn't give up on the carbon tax, right? She's arguing that the industrial carbon tax was set to climb, and she sort of got a slightly better deal on the carbon tax. So she's going to say, I didn't really lose. She won by getting no emission caps, but she still has a few other things. So if you look at what she gave up and the potential return, okay, it's a pretty good deal. And I would have made that same deal perhaps if I was her. For me, I would have made the same deal for different reasons. I would have looked at Carney and like, I'll make any deal with you because you're gonna lose and it's gonna make you look bad, and you won't be here in 3 years. So I would have made those deals. I also would have made those deals because I believe that practicality is going to always win out on ideology. So. And practicality for us in our case is the fact that the world wants our oil, and no matter what, our oil will get to market because because people want it. So,
do you feel that both Smith and Carney both sort of feel like they're like getting one over on each other, or do you think that it runs a level deeper than that? Like, do you think that Smith thinks that she's getting a big win and Carney also feels like he's getting a big win?
Well, let me put it this way. Who do you think actually negotiated at the table in the days before the AGM? Was it Carney and Smith, or was it somebody on Carney's team and somebody on Smith's team, right? It was 2 people.
Yeah, it would be a representative.
It's a representative
right?
from each side, which is why the deal's so bad. And then they quickly come back and Carney goes, yeah, I'll sign it. And Smith goes, yeah, I'll sign it. So nobody, okay. But if it was them negotiating, I don't think either of them would feel like they really got one up on the other, right? I mean, Carney is basically she got a one up on she didn't sacrifice anything of her own core values, I'd say, other than maybe stepping back from the ultimatum. Ultimatums are always dangerous, right? I mean, she got something she could save face. She went as far as saying that she got 7 out of 9 items on her ultimatum. I call, that's a stretch. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 out of the 9, because Bill C-69 didn't change. The tanker ban didn't change. There's some very specific ones that they promised to change. But so she didn't sacrifice too much. He really went back on his values. I mean, suddenly he's pro oil. He's he's thinking of reversing some policies. He went back enough that Guilbeault quit, and I don't think that was just showmanship by Guilbeault. I think Guilbeault's honestly pissed off. He's like, no more electric vehicles, no more. But the reality again is that Guilbeault's things that they impose, they're ideological, right? Like there'll be no electric vehicles by 2035. Man, that's not grounded in any kind of science. So, and to me, I think Carney's reversing himself on those temporarily. Because let's be truthful, right? Carney wrote a whole book on this. You're not going to change your stripes overnight. He does believe that climate change is an existential threat and that free markets are out of control and need to be reined in. He kind of showed it, right? Like, we'll choose the projects. We'll choose who does it. You have to buy Canadian steel, Canadian lumber, labor, things like that. And I think Carney is reversing himself temporarily because he's looking around him and he's like, Trump will be gone in 3 years. Maybe I'll still be around. He's selling out, but only temporarily.